Okay, well, I didn't even get an intro going. What happened?
It was like a mini intro.
Yeah, it
Like
was
a
like a super mini intro. That is so funny. And so we're live, but we're waiting on Joe. Jhmeid, how are you this evening?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Okay, there. We look a little bit better instead of being blown up. I'm still, I don't know what I did, Jhmeid. Let me see something. That's so weird. No, that's not it. Oh well, we'll just go with it. We're waiting on Joe. Jimmy, tell us a little bit about you because you are guest host today. You are stepping in for Mr. Pineapples.
Well, I feel honored to step in for our fearless leader, Jaime Pineapples. I'm from Atlanta now, I would say. Yeah. I was born in New Haven, Connecticut. Grew up in Atlanta, joined the military, moved all around, and I ended up back here in Atlanta.
Well, awesome. So you
Joe
never
the
went back here.
man.
Joe, how's it going, mister?
I'm here. I made it.
Well, listen, I did like a 30-second intro and that was it. And then I'm like, oh, well,
It's over.
that was cute. So this is
Sorry.
what happens when the Pineapples isn't here.
When
Nothing
the
goes
EP
together.
decides to go on vacation there and take care of himself.
When the EP leaves it up to the SPM and the SPF to do stuff, it's not going to be good.
We'll get by, but it can go a lot smoother.
Yeah, it would. So Jhmeid, we were just learning a little bit about Jhmeid and
Okay.
thanking him for being our guest host. So he said he's originally from New Haven, Connecticut, but now he what do you call it? An Atlantean? Is that what they call you guys? Atlanteans?
Well, it's actually Atlantans, but when Outkast made that album ATLians, then that became a part of the whole description of people from Atlanta. So we never say Hotlanta. Only people not from here say.
Oh,
Hotlanta.
Do you say Mylanta?
Well, depends on how the sports teams are doing. It could be Mylanta, but
Could be.
So I'm actually going to go to Atlanta in August. I have to go there for a conference.
Cool. So maybe we can meet for some soda.
That would be awesome.
Or something like that.
Yeah, I'm down. I am totally down because I'm going by myself, so I won't have any constraints other than I have to finish up my conference and then be.
Yeah, we can stop partying like at 4 a.m. None of the, the conference doesn't start at 4 a.m. I'll just drop you off like Weekend at Bernie's.
Right, exactly. I'll be like, I'm not going. It's one of those, attendance is requested, and if you miss something, you miss something. So, yeah.
No, I could tell you at a place I used to work, a guy. Maybe I shouldn't tell this story.
Just change the names.
The names. Well,
a guy was at a conference, and some of the big wigs at the conference were trying to meet with him. And so they were like going to the different breakout groups and the main group, and then they did an announcement. You're like, wait a minute, what's going on? What's going on? And so they called back to the leadership at the company that I was working for, and they were like panicked. And his wife worked for the company, so they were like, "Oh my God, what's going on? What's going on?" And so they broke into his room, and whatever happens on TV shows when they break into a married man's room at a conference, that's what happened.
Oh, my.
Like getting fired and getting a divorce in the same thing.
I was like, he got murdered.
No,
not those kind of shows. More like the Lifetime than the ID network. The ID
okay.
No, Sandy goes automatically there.
Yeah, of course, she's like, "Oh,
somebody died."
Well, maybe I don't know.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I don't know
Because
what really happened, but how embarrassing. Can you imagine? Because they were looking for him. It became serious, and then
Yeah,
Here
they
they were
were-
worried for his safety.
they were concerned for
Right.
his safety, and this dude is not really concerned about it.
no, and
He was not
a
even concerned about his
high-
own safety.
He was a high-ranking guy in the company.
Oh.
This kind of egg on a face for the company, for him, his marriage. It was.
Whoa.
And you said his wife was part of the.
Yeah, his wife worked for the company, so they started calling and like, "Have you heard from him?" And she was like, "Yeah, he said the first day went well." And it was like, "Wait, maybe that's the kidnappers." And it was like,
Quick,
"Can you
set up
text? Can you text him now?" And then it was like this whole involved thing, and they decided to get the police involved, the hotel security.
Oh my goodness.
He went out. I mean, he went all out.
Yeah.
I'd love to interview him, see how that went, see how his life's going right now.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Man,
and
that's some good stuff, Jhmeid. Oh, that's a good one.
yeah, and it really happened, and it was funny. It was like, so then when I got to conferences, I was like this stickler, like, "Hey guys, let's make sure we do this." So we were going to make sure we're texting my boss, "Hey, this class, such and such topic was great."
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
But then that looks sus, and now you're like,
Overcompensate.
okay.
I think
Yeah.
after that, everybody was overcompensating for conferences. They were like, yeah, because you go to conferences and you're like, I definitely want to go with that one.
Mhm.
That one, I could sleep in on that one.
Right.
And then maybe we could go see, sightseeing on that one. No, everybody was like, yeah, we're staying to the entire time. It was it was funny.
So I always like going. So we have two conferences. So we have just a regular conference for the business owners, and then we have the technical conference. And so lately, what I've been doing is been taking myself and one of my technicians with me. And
that's cool.
And I let the technicians take all the class. I'm like, so how was that one?
And they're like, oh, I wonder. I hope he's.
Right.
Here's my report.
Right. Exactly.
Here's my notes that I took.
Right,
That would be me.
Right. Yeah. So that's awesome. So Sandy, how was your day? Or did you already do that?
No, we hadn't.
Okay.
We hadn't done it. My day was good. I'm trying to think what I even did today. Nothing. I just worked. We took Johnny Cash for a walk, but it was like 97 degrees.
It was a
Wow.
But I did run 12 miles yesterday, and I think I'm ready for my half marathon.
Oh, that's awesome. When
That is
it?
awesome, Sandy.
My half marathon is June the 19th
Oh yeah, you're on a perfect
Alaska.
timing.
in Alaska.
Yeah.
Oh well, this would be the time to do a half marathon in Alaska.
Yeah,
Right.
so we're gonna do it. It's gonna be on the summer solstice, so it's like gonna be
Oh,
23 hours of daylight. I don't know. That's so crazy to me. I guess like mind blowing to me.
yeah,
That is
we
crazy.
we had some people in Alaska, and my sister's company, the company my sister works for, is headquartered in Alaska. So I always felt like I wanted to visit Alaska. My aunt and uncle, they used to go to cruises all the time that went to Alaska.
Mhm.
And so I was like, I always wanted to go to Alaska, but there's a certain window that I want to go to Alaska. So like
Which is
like when it's not 80 below.
oh, okay. I mean that makes
that
perfect sense.
80 below window, I don't want to go to Alaska. But the fun, summery, and maybe even like a little snowy, I wouldn't go there.
Yeah, so my brother-in-law is stationed there, and so that's why we're going because he's about to leave. So we're just gonna go
cool.
visit him before he leaves. But yeah, he's like it's like 60 degrees, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and y'all are gonna be burning up, and I'm
Right,
60
yeah.
degrees.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's gonna
More
be
water, more
sweltering.
water.
It's gonna be like I think we're supposed to hit 106 on Thursday.
Yes,
Goodness gracious.
yeah,
Okay.
that's
But it's a dry heat, Jimmy.
It's a dry heat.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was at a track meet this weekend for my daughter. There's 89 in the typical Georgia humid and
oh yeah.
it's like my sweat was sweating. Because we have a tent, you put up because you have to the track parent thing is a whole deal because you have to stay there the whole time, which could be like from 7 in the morning to like 7 in the evening. And so
Yikes!
we have a
12
tent and
hours.
all
Hey,
that
Sean.
stuff. Hey.
Yeah. See,
So yeah,
my daughter was in track for like a season, I think, and I didn't show up because I'm like, there's no way. I was like, and you know, it was
it's a lot.
school. It was middle school athletics, so I was like, I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, the kid,
I hope
my
your
kid
daughter's
didn't
not
care.
watching.
Yeah.
she's working. So,
Oh,
oh boy.
That
So-
hand, it just like the
It
magic
just
hand
comes
just
over
appears
here.
out of nowhere.
Yeah, I know. I was like, boy, mind your business. Oh, anyways, so my day was fun. I got to work around
11.
noon-ish. I work, so I look my emails. I'm like, do I need to get to work now? Nope. Okay, so I'm going to stay in bed.
Right.
You're not
So-
supposed to stay in bed. You're gonna work from home to
Right.
12.
I'm going to work from home till 12. Yeah. And so if they need something, they text me and I'm like, oh, yeah, sure.
Right. Approved.
Approved. And then so we wanted to go. So I get home and the producer, my wife, wanted to go to the new Under Five. Is it 500 or 5 Under?
I've not ever been. I forgot about that place.
Yeah, there's a 5 Under store here. So I was like, cool. I got $20 burning in my pocket. Let's go. Let's go
Right.
find something.
Everything
And-
was 20 and up.
Yeah. And we get there and it's like 7:30 and they're closed.
Oh wow!
I'm like, what kind of?
Like who are they marketing
I
to?
was like, who are y'all doing, man? Why are you closed
Yeah.
like at 7:00? So I was like, you do know. And of course, it's like full on sun here. And we're like, but it's early.
Right.
Right. It's like noon.
It's like noon or whatever. So, and then, then we went to, so across the street is Marshall. So we walked around Marshall's there for a little bit. And then I was like, dude, I'm hungry. Let's go eat. We get to where we're going to eat. And then I'm like, oh, I have a show tonight.
Oh.
It's like, crap. And I'm like, trying to hurry. I'm telling the kids, order. Let's go.
Right.
Poor
Shove it
kid.
in your faces. Hurry. Shovel your food in.
Can we
Look.
take this to go?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean
Yeah, I
is
was like,
wondering if you took a nap today.
oh, not yet. I would have, but when we got home, she wanted to leave and stuff like that. But I enjoy adult naps. I don't know what happened
too.
in
I
the
don't-
world
yeah.
when naps started becoming a thing for kids. I'm like,
Yeah.
F that noise.
I don't know who made this anti-nap brigade, but that's just like
Right.
like some people talk like, oh, you take naps? Like you're saying I beat up baby seals or something.
Yeah. They
Like,
talk down to you. They're
you
like,
take naps as an adult?
Right. Yeah. I'm just like, you better calm
You
yourself.
don't?
Here.
Yeah, you don't.
There's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with me.
I agree. I'm like, I love a good nap, but I can, there's a certain window. Like after a certain time, if I take a nap, I won't be able to sleep at night. So it
Yeah,
has to be like
same.
a perfect
Yeah,
window.
Right.
But I don't have a problem doing a strict 30-minute nap.
Right.
Like if I put 30 minutes on my phone, take a nap, a lot of times I'll wake up before it's over and I feel like refreshed. It was like my body just needed to reset.
Right.
Sometimes, you're like, man, why am I dragging the day? I don't feel creative, everything. And then you take a nap and it's like, oh yeah, that was what was wrong. So
Right, exactly. Yeah, I just needed to close my eyes for a little bit. I was like,
Right.
my eyes are just taking in too much information. And so I just need to like calm it down.
Need to reset.
Right.
Shauna says she's a
Uh-oh.
non-napper. Shauna, I just,
You're missing out, Shauna.
Uh-oh.
You're
Yeah,
totally missing
try
out.
he's one of the adult
Okay.
nap shamers.
Yeah,
Right.
she's gonna wear a shirt. I do not nap.
Right. I get my 8 hours at night.
Right. I did catch y'all's show, Jhmeid, on Friday, but I was
cool.
after, and I was like, oh, there was so much I wanted to say, and you'll notice that there's a bunch of comments on me like afterwards, and I'm like, God dang it, I could actually talk about some of the stuff there.
Well, good. That's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
so I loved it. I thought it was really cool that you went over the Naomi Osaka thing, and then you talked about how the Hawks are just nobody's expecting them to be good, and then all of a sudden
we're playing with house money. Like all these other teams, if we don't win, the coach is going to get fired, or we're no good. You're like, yeah.
Right, yeah. So I thought it was a great show. I wish I would have caught it live, but I'm really bad at that. But I did catch our sister show, Sandy. We were so bad because last week we didn't plug any of the shows at the end after our interview.
Oh, we're gonna have to do better at that.
Right.
We are gonna do better at that too.
When?
On last week on Wednesday, after we interviewed the shoe guy.
Oh, we didn't.
Oh, I hate that I missed the shoe guy.
Oh yeah.
He was incredible, Jhmeid. You need to follow him on Instagram.
I'm gonna go rewatch that, and that way when I DM him, he won't ignore me.
Right.
I'll know exactly how to
get in while
myself.
you can with your order, because he's like already booked out. So I'm like, basically order now for Christmas.
No, that's how all the creatives in that shoe game. I'm a bit of a sneakerhead myself.
Are you?
Yeah, you will love his stuff too. So yeah, he did a Miami Hurricanes shoe. It was really awesome.
And it was on cloth.
It was on cloth, yeah. Not like
that's hard. That's hard. That is hard. I have 3 pairs of shoes at a customizer in Houston. And I'm waiting for them to be shipped back. So
Jhmeid, do you wear yours out in public, or are you just more like a display kind of guy?
Oh no, I wear my shoes. My shoes.
Do you have shoe creasers so that they won't crease, non-creasers?
No. I'm old. I'm old. That's for young guys who walk like penguins.
Yeah, they walk like penguins.
Yeah, because listen, the crease is a part of the shoe. And like, I don't have a plan to resell shoes. So some of these guys are walking around with shoes, like they'll just put the shoe on their feet and stand in their house and take a bunch of pictures and quickly take them off. No way. I wear all my shoes.
We got some comments coming in. Hey, Joanne. She says, I love naps. Got to have at least one. Amen to that.
Yes.
Hey, Anita. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Anita.
CPJ in the house. How's it going?
CPJ.
And speaking of
the shoe guy.
Is that the shoe guy?
That's the shoe guy right
he
there.
Is JB Custom Kicks. How's it going, JB?
His initials. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I followed him on Instagram.
That's your initial too. Okay.
Yeah, it's mine too. I followed him on Instagram, and I gave him a little love in my stories and stuff like that. So, man, his stuff was awesome.
I've been seeing his DC stuff, and I'm like, man, that stuff is awesome.
Wait, DC stuff?
Comic books. DC comic books.
Oh. We're losing him. We're losing him.
No joking. No, I'm not one of those people who, I'm a DC person. I am a Marvel person, but I like DC stuff too. So
I like it all.
The Flash, but yeah, I'm a Silver Surfer guy.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
CPJ says, I started my shoe art game in 1st grade with Bic and number 2. My parents hated me. Yeah, I got beat. Yeah, same.
I put an L and an R on mine.
Right.
And you still had them backwards?
They were backwards or whatever. So. All right, hold on. I think it's time for our thing here. Let's do our thing. So we need some numbers. We need people to give us some numbers.
Okay, guys, 1 through. Did you put any questions in there?
Sure, I put 1 through 14.
He didn't. No, he didn't. Okay, guys, we're fixing to do our 2 cents. Shoot numbers 1 through 14 so we can get rolling on these.
Yeah. Hold up just a second. Here goes.
It's John.
We have little segment breakers there, Jhmeid. We're
fancy like that.
Hey, John, how are you, sir? Thanks for hopping in tonight. So we have we've got numbers coming in for number 4 from CPJ.
All right, let's go to number 4. And actually, we're going to do with this one right here. And I will share the screen. Booyah. Can I do this? There we go. So I don't want to see the other questions.
Oh, I got you. I'm like, what are you doing? You can do whatever you want.
Number 4. Is it the government's or each company's IT team's responsibility to thwart cyber attacks? Sandy, you want to start with that?
Yes, because I'm an IT guru. So I think with my IT background, I feel like it's each company's responsibility to be able to thwart off cyber attacks, given I feel like we have enough technology. But then again, I mean, these hackers can hack anything except your credit score. So, I mean, I don't know. So, again, I don't know. I honestly, I have no idea. But I feel like it would be each company's responsibility. I don't know. That's just
Okay.
mine.
All right. Jhmeid?
Well, kind of with the pipeline thing, which, ironically today they just recovered all that money, which was great. There are companies that are not government companies that we rely on a lot. And some of these cyber attackers are kind of state sponsored terrorists. So like the state allows them to kind of exist and they don't prosecute them. So I mean, it's kind of a mix of both, right? You want your IT team to be ready for it, but sometimes, when you have these other super hackers that are trying to not just get money but take down, things that we rely on here in the United States.
Our
like
major
gas.
resources.
Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of a mixed responsibility.
So I will tell you that some of the companies that I work with have no idea what even IT means. So,
Right. It's a movie.
right, exactly. So I'm just like, what? You did what? Because so I deal with restaurants. That's what my main company does. We deal with point of sale systems and restaurant security and stuff like that. But man, these restaurants they're not worried about that. All they're worried about is I need to serve some food. And when I tell them the price of a business class firewall, they're just like, what?
Not today.
You're like, you know what? I can go over there to Walmart and I can get me a router for $20.
I can get McAfee.
Right, exactly.
Oh God.
Right, exactly. So man, it is a tough sell, especially to people that don't understand the importance of it. It's really hard now. So they're actually a little bit more educated nowadays because restaurants have to do what's called PCI compliance and stuff like that. So in order for them to accept credit cards, they have to have a certain level of security on their network in order to take credit cards. So they've gotten a little bit better, but back in the beginning, man, they were like, whatever.
I mean, you did constantly hear about restaurants getting, people's cards hacked and all that stuff. And
Right.
I mean, now it's just kind of on the individual, like somebody actually physically took the card number.
Right.
I mean, I've heard
it's
before.
It's become harder, but at the same time,
Still a possibility.
It's still a possibility. And because restaurants don't believe in IT or know what IT is or IT security, they were low-hanging fruit for those hackers. So I was able to, for even my limited hacking ability, I remember one time I was able to hack an entire hotel's Wi-Fi.
Wow.
because they didn't change the default password.
Because your family needed the data.
I was just like, really? Come on, people. That's the thing. And it's not even hacking. I just know the default password of certain things. So
wow.
It's so crazy. But yeah, it's really important. If you own a business, you need to have some type of IT security. And for me, it falls on the business. The government can do so much with things that I think are public requirements. I think the government should definitely be watching out for that stuff. So
we have one comment. Well, Sean said yes.
Okay.
And John said,
I think said yes to both.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It should be a team effort on sharing the knowledge because the government has a big cybersecurity command to monitor all that stuff. Yeah.
But they are injecting us with trackers. So
they're busy right now, John.
Right,
and 5G.
Right, and 5G, right? Exactly.
We don't have 5G here. We have to go to Lubbock to get 5G.
Oh man, you must have a low coronavirus rate.
Yes, right. Here in Pflugerville we do.
Pflugerville, right?
Because of no 5G.
What's the next
Thank
number?
you. Number 10.
Number 10.
Put some more numbers in there, kids.
All right, here we go. Number 10. When planning a family trip, who gets the best room and second best, and so on and so forth? Jhmeid, we'll start with you.
Well, I mean, who paid for the trip? Me. So I'm definitely getting the best room. And depends on how many people come. If my mom comes, she wants the second best room, or really she wants the first best room, but she'll pretend. Wait, let me see if she's in there.
Right.
Okay. So,
hey, Mom.
Yeah. But I'm always going to get the best one. And then it's kind of like an age order. I have girls and I have a boy and, well, a man. So
Child.
Yeah, man. Well, no, he's not a child anymore. He's a senior in college. So
Oh.
yeah. But the good thing is when they get to that age, a certain age, they're like, family trip. That's lame. So he doesn't always go, but me first, me the number one room, and then the kids the second room, and sometimes I try to get them to share with my mom. Wow. But when my dad was alive, it was him first. Like, oh God, what is crazy? But yeah, one time he had us sleeping in a kids room, and I was like, Dad, I could afford my own room.
He's like, no, I want to take care of it, but
right. He's like, that's okay. He's like, we got this big villa, and I was like, this is a kid's room, Dad. So yeah, that was.
You're like, my feet are hanging off the bed.
Yeah.
Right.
So I guess I get the best room from my dad. I guess that's
right. Exactly. Sandy.
So, in our experience on our family trips, really, usually the one who gets there first gets to scout the whole thing. We've been left out to where. I guess it was our most recent family trip when we went skiing, and there's some people that arrived before us and they got the pick of the house, and then some of us got the basement, and it was so cold in there.
Like in that situation.
Yes, and so I feel like it just depends. One, if you're going to do it like that, just leave at midnight so you can get get there before everybody.
Right, exactly.
But I guess I'm kind of with Jhmeid. Whoever planned it and used their money, and then if somebody reimbursed you for it, then you should typically get the best choice, and then go down from there.
Right.
What do you think, Joe?
Well, so Sandy, I was there on that trip with you.
I know. Who booked it?
Yeah. So, man. So I've had the opportunity to plan a lot of trips with our families, and Sandy's part of that family, and it's just we've been pretty lucky where people haven't been so gripey about which room they get.
We don't.
Or they haven't told me anyway.
No, I think the only thing we were gripey about was that the power went out and it was so cold. Like we had a power outage that night.
Yeah.
How long?
In a mountain town.
It was all night. Like it was out all night. Like you woke up and you could see like your breath.
I was like, why is it so cold? But yeah, and Sandy's right. It was whoever got there first got to scout and they get pick of the rooms. But everybody was like, so there's like 5 in my family. So we would usually get the room that has a bigger bed and the bunk beds or stuff like that. Or luckily, this was a very large cabin. Mm-hmm. It had 4 levels, and so we were able to make it work. But yeah, it's always been fun trying to plan those. I'm easy when it comes to picking a room. It's like I just need a bed, and I think most of the family is like that. So.
Yeah, luckily we all get along enough to where nobody really complains as long as we get somewhere to sleep on.
Yeah, exactly. Cabin trips can be a little tricky because the biggest room is not always the coolest room.
Right.
Like sometimes cabins have like surprises. Like we did a cabin trip and somebody ran to get the big room, but we had the room that had the extra jacuzzi. Because it's 2 jacuzzi. The jacuzzi was out on our porch, and they're like, "Hey, would you guys want to change rooms? Because it has the bigger bed." No.
Stay over there.
No, we're good. We got it.
Okay, we have a couple of comments in here. So Carrie says, "If I'm going with other adult travelers, then my vote for best room goes to the person who will complain the most and ruin the trip for everyone if they don't get their way. But that room will be in the hotel in the next town." I'm like, they wouldn't even be on my trip.
I agree, CPJ. I agree.
Joanne says, "I get to override anyone except my parents." That's funny. And
Me
look,
too.
John says he'll stab everybody for the best room.
It's like we be fighting.
Yeah.
We be fighting.
Okay, we have number 1.
Well, number 1. All right, people, we still need some more numbers, so feel free to give us those numbers whenever you get a second. Oh, this is going to be a good one. Should I marry the love of my life if his or her mother is toxic?
Joe, you go first.
Yes, and then you move to a completely different town and city and just
Yes.
get the freak out of there. Because I know that when you marry somebody, you marry their family and stuff like that. But if they're toxic, it could ruin your relationship, and that's what's
Yeah.
important is your relationship. So I think it's important if that is possible, then you just need to get out, move completely away from them, and let him understand. It's like, I married you, I love you,
Yeah.
and your mom's crazy. And I think
Right.
if it's that crazy, I think if she's that toxic, then I think the son probably has an idea.
Yeah. Jhmeid, what do you think?
Well, I think this is kind of like one of those age questions, right? When you're younger, the toxicity or the dysfunction of the other family is more important. If you're older, if you get married older, then it doesn't matter as much. You can say some of those things, like, hey, I don't your mom is very controlling. I want to set parameters, but when you're young, you can't dare say that because the connection is too strong.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when you're in the way you thought about your parents when you were 20 something is different than the way you thought about your parents when you're in your 30s. Like, oh, I can see them a little more as humans, not demigods. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say the love of your life is important.
But
But
so's your sanity.
yeah, it's really how like Joe said, how much they know if they're toxic or not, right?
Right.
Like
Mhm.
if you're like, wow, her mom is toxic or his mom is toxic, and they're like, oh, my mom is the greatest, sweetest person, you probably should run.
Right.
You should
Right.
probably, 'cause
Right.
they'll never be able to see through.
Yeah,
that.
because they're blinded. They're blinded by whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
right.
So, yeah, you guys kind of just took what I was going to say. It just depends on how they feel about that parent. And like you guys are saying, if they don't see it and you're going to be the one that's going to be receiving that toxicity part, and it's just going to be constant
Right.
battle
The whole
between it.
marriage, yeah.
And you're going to be fighting with them. And you know what's so funny is me and my dang TikTok, there's a one lady who does these like conversations that she actually has with her mother-in-law, and she'll like call her and be like, hey, we're fixing to take pictures, but you're not welcome, but your husband and son are. And it's just like, she's like,
Wow.
and I get to make these rules. And she's like, well, if we're making rules then. And so they go back and forth. And I'm like, oh
Oh,
no,
no.
I'd be like, Jhmeid, we're moving to a different state.
Yeah,
You know what? Different continent.
Exactly. Wow, that's crazy. That's like Monster-in-Law, and I think Crazy Rich Asians is kind of like this, because he was really. You haven't seen that, Sandy, have you?
No, you know what? I have seen it, but I don't remember much about it. Like, maybe I fell asleep. I'm gonna rewatch it. But
It's worth a
yes.
rewatch.
It's worth a
very
rewatch.
so.
Yeah,
I
it's worth a
think so.
rewatch. But his mom never felt like his girlfriend, fiance, was worth her son, and so she was upfront about it. She told her that you're not good enough for my son, and of course, hilarity ensues and stuff like that. But
Right. Yeah, I see. In Monster-in-Law, I actually took my mother-in-law to watch Monster-in-Law.
Oh wow.
How not to be.
Right. I think it's kind of so for me. Both of those films are kind of in the same vein because they feel like they're the fiance is not good enough for their son. So it's just funny how they kind of work together in that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me get to some comments here. We have hell no from Joanne. And Sean is adamantly against marrying your toxic. Hey, good night, John Harville. Thanks for popping in
Yeah,
here.
thanks for popping
by,
in.
John.
Yep.
Okay, so we have number 5.
Number 5. Here we go. Inspired by the new Domino's commercials, Avoid the Noid, what are your thoughts and fears about automated vehicles? I haven't seen that commercial. Can you explain the commercial, Jimmy?
So they're like, there you go. At Domino's, we're testing out this unmanned vehicle to deliver pizzas, right?
No.
And so it's not really real, but it really brings to and the unmanned drone with wheels is delivering the pizza. And remember, Avoid the Noid from a long time ago.
Yep.
He's back trying to trip up the car and all that stuff. But in real life, Tesla is working very hard on automated cars.
Right.
And there's been some hiccups with them. So
Right.
it's kind of like, what are your thoughts and fears about automated vehicles? And remember, we used to watch the Jetsons, so I thought we would be flying by now. So.
Right, exactly. I
Right.
thought we'd be flying too.
But right now we're worried about microchips in our
Exactly. So I'll go. I think it's super cool. I'm all about having automated vehicles because I like to sleep.
Oh my gosh.
So as being the patriarch of the family, whenever we go on vacations, I'm always driving.
Me too.
Always driving. And I'm just like, you know what would be awesome? If I could just punch in, take me to Denver, Colorado, and boom, and I could fall asleep. I'm all for it. I'm totally all for it. Whatever we have to do to make it happen, I'm good for it. My fears are, there's always that fear that there's going to be a malfunction, or going back to question number 1, someone could hack it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, those are thoughts that are kind of there, but
deliver your family to them.
Exactly. So, I'm all for it. I'm excited about this time that we're in and the future and what the future holds. I wish I was 20 years younger so I could even see the flying cars, because I think we're pretty close to flying cars. Because I watched a couple of videos on it, but
they just burn a lot of gas.
Right.
They're it's the opposite of fuel efficiency.
Right. But I did see a thing about where they're trying to figure out the fast rail system, here for the United States. They've already got it in Japan, but for whatever reason, we don't have it here in the United States.
Right.
But I think it'd be
2025
really
is
cool.
our year.
2025 is our year. Yeah. Just wait.
We're
coming for you.
We're going to announce it in 2025. And then
in 2125, we'll start construction.
Yep. Sandy, what are your thoughts?
Okay, so I just think insurance. I'm like, oh my gosh, that would be an insurance nightmare. Can you imagine you're driving and then an unmanned vehicle hits you and you're like, who's going to defend him, that car's fault. I don't know. I just think insurance nightmare, and then plus you have seen, like Jhmeid said, the cars that have been involved in accidents, and I don't know. We just need to keep working on it. I'm not ready for that kind of technology.
See, you guys are crazy because we just sent a rover to Mars.
And we still can't figure out.
And where is it? Didn't it get lost?
No.
Oh, is it back home?
No, it's doing awesome. And they even sent a drone to Mars.
You know what, Joe? So awesome. Let's talk about this. Why don't we perfect the drive-through window where when I say I need large fries, they don't give me a bowl of rice. Okay, let's work on that. I
don't know which restaurant you're going to.
Well, they don't have rice, but right. They still ask me, you want rice?
Or a large Sprite. So I said fries.
Right. And then they say, yes, sir. Anything else? And I'm a ma'am. So let's work on that.
I like the 2-syllable ma'am. I'm a ma'am.
Ma'am. Let's see.
No, Jhmeid hasn't given us.
Oh, sorry,
thoughts.
Jhmeid. I am so sorry.
Oh no, it's just really, it's kind of it's a mix of both of you guys. In an ideal world, it would be great, but the problem in most of the crashes with automated cars so far is the humans driving. So like it's almost like it could only work if the majority of cars were automated, because the automated cars are like come to stop sign, check both ways, do this, and then they don't adjust for person on their phone texting is drifting into my lane. So it's like, yeah, that's and
Right.
it would have to be with a bunch of other automated cars to work, because
Right.
as long as humans are driving, we stop so many accidents every day when we're driving that we don't even realize, because we're like, oh yeah, that person's not paying attention. Oh, this
Right.
this is a light. We know the street where people like to push it and run the lights. The automated car doesn't know anything about people being late for work at a major intersection. They're like,
Yes.
light is green, check both ways, go. And we're like, no, ease out in this one, because everybody is rushing to work. So
Right.
yeah, it's like a great idea, but I'm not ready for it until more automated cars are on the road.
You're
Until-
saying like if we had like a full-on infrastructure of just automated cars only.
Or mostly automated cars. It doesn't even
Yeah.
have to be just, but yeah, enough because they can sense each other, but they can't predict what we're going to do.
Right. Yeah. Because we're dumb.
Right. We're a little slow.
We're like, especially guys, hold my beer. Here we go.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
But that would be good though. If you're drinking, your car could be your designated driver.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hey, good answer.
Good answer.
CPJ says, my thoughts and fears about automated vehicles is that common sense isn't that common. True
I
that.
agree.
Mhm.
Look, Chon says, Mr. Nap trying to nap while he's driving.
Right there. Right there.
Joanne says, I think it's stupid to have automated vehicles. Not smart, but people are lazy. They just trying to nap, Joanne. That's all.
So laziness is it helps innovation like crazy.
Yes.
That's why.
That's true. That's true.
Let's see here. Chon says in 2080. All right, Chon. We're going to look for you
We're
in
gonna put that
2080.
down.
Anita says, I don't think I would trust automated cars. Joe, some guy got arrested for sleeping on the freeway while his automated car drove itself. People around him were freaking out. And I remember seeing that article. He sure was passed out and people were driving and that car was just going on its own.
So he didn't cause a wreck though, right?
He didn't, right? You're like, he's alive to tell his story,
He
right?
was alive, right? And the only reason he stopped is because y'all
Y'all woke him up.
interrupted his nap. So,
Yeah, he was doing it for YouTube, for a YouTube video.
like, how did you
Oh,
know that he wasn't driving? You were pretty close to see that then.
Right. You almost sideswiped and trying to get that Snapchat video.
Exactly. So don't try to tell me.
Okay, we have number 7.
Number 7. Have you ever bought anything from Facebook ads, and how would you rate your experiences? Jhmeid, you can go first.
The answer is yes, I have bought some things from Facebook ads. And every time I tell myself, never again. Because like when they show up, it's literally like a surprise. It's like oh, what is this? Oh, and you know, I just made another purchase from Facebook, you know, for the pellet ice makers.
Oh, you did.
How's
And
that
so
going?
I clicked on the thing and it's like $27. There's no way this thing is gonna work. But you gotta try it for $27. So sometime in maybe the fall of 2024, it'll get here, and I can share like how it worked, how it didn't work, or how quickly it broke. But yeah, I bought a couple of like little rinky dings and stuff like that. But nothing that I needed, because like it takes so long to get here, and it's a high chance that it's not gonna be what it was advertised to be.
True that.
So I have to tell you something based on what Jhmeid just said. I saw a TikTok. Sandy and I are all over TikTok. It's
We
crazy.
send each other the funniest things.
So this guy was like, I ordered this shark.
Yes.
I ordered this shark, a Jaws head, and it said large shark head. And he was like, I was so excited to get it for I think he paid like $40.
40 bucks. Yes.
Yeah, it's like $40 for a large shark head. He's like, and he goes, I was planning on putting it on my wall and all this stuff. And he gets it and he shows this is it.
Yeah. They had even put an apple out for reference.
Right.
They didn't put measurements, but it looked like, the shark is this big and the apple's this big.
Yeah, they did. What do? They did this number where they're like, look, this is really big.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he even wrote the company and said, did I get the wrong size? And they're like, no, that's the correct size. And maybe we should think about our marketing next time. We apologize for that.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
It was the photographer's choice to use that. Oh man. So I've purchased a couple of things from Facebook ads. I can't remember what they were, but what really is crazy, what happens is I click on an ad and then I go down this rabbit hole researching other actual products, and I will get an actual product that I would have paid way too much for. But so, for example, I really wanted an electric bicycle something, and I ended up with an electric skateboard.
Did you get that off a Facebook ad?
So no. So the Facebook ad showed me, for some reason, I must have typed it in Messenger or something and said, hey, I've thought about getting a one wheel. So that's where it started. Start with a one wheel. So when that started, and then all of a sudden, these ads start popping up about electric skateboards and other things. So I used that to kind of do my research to find the electric skateboard that I bought. So have I bought anything from Facebook ads? Not necessarily, but they've definitely helped me buy other things that I didn't want to. And what sucks now is that now that I have my skateboard, I'm still seeing skateboard ads, and I have to say this no longer pertains to me. And,
Right.
And then it says, why does it no longer pertain to you? And it's like, because I already bought one. Just like, so that's my experience with Facebook ads. And what's funny, I run those for my photography business. And the last couple of times I spent like $50 and didn't get any bookings off of it. So I'm just like, you know
really?
what? F that noise.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Pardon my French.
Right. Pardon the word noise.
Cindy?
So I have fallen victim to the Facebook ad, and same experience as Jhmeid. They arrived 4 months later because they were traveling on the Nina with Christopher Columbus. And I'm just like, what did I order? And then it's not even as it's represented in the ad. So I try to tell myself, don't look at it. Don't look at it. You don't need it. And I try to scroll on through, because if you make the mistake of clicking on it, you're forever seeing the same
Oh
thing.
yeah, they're gonna keep.
They're like, oh, she took the bait.
Time?
Yes.
6 months ago, you clicked on this electric skateboard.
Yes.
We're gonna send you all skateboard related activities.
Yes.
I Googled, I don't know if y'all have seen this, the TikTok leggings that they're supposed to enhance your booty.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I was like, oh my gosh, someone just walked into this restaurant with this TikTok leggings. And one of my friends was like, what are TikTok leggings? So I Googled it to show her what they were. And that's all I get now is TikTok leggings. I'm like, oh my gosh, why do I Google some of these things? But anyway, I do not like any of my experiences with Facebook ads and their stuff that they peddle. So.
that I keep buying.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. It's so crazy how much information, how that spreads. Like the whole ad thing is just crazy to me. How fast, because that's what everybody says. You know what? What Facebook is selling is you. They're actually selling,
right?
Like, you're
true.
the product. That's crazy.
Oh, this is a good one.
I just saw it.
CPJ, Joe, you keep seeing the electric skateboard ads because Facebook is impressed that Moses wants one.
Where's my block button? Where's the block button? You're blocked.
Joanne says, never in my case and won't.
I
Joanne's
highly
old.
recommend it. I recommend that.
Right? You
Keep
got to do it at
that
least
energy,
once.
Joanne.
You just have
No,
to do it at least
I
once.
recommend that you don't ever do it. Like once you do it one time, they're like, "Listen, it's been 700 ads, but he'll get this knife sharpener. He'll get it."
Right. Or
You
how
better
about
get this.
those Wish ads that pop up? Like Wish wants you to buy something from their website, so they share you like the most popular items. And there's one that has like men's underwear with a hole in it. And I'm like, what the like, why are you showing this to me? So I always take screenshots and send it to my friends. I'm like, look at this.
All right,
No,
people. We need some
say
more
no to
numbers.
Wish.
We need some more numbers. Give us
Come
some
on,
numbers.
kids.
Come on, kids.
Well, while y'all put in a number, we'll just say you said you put in 14.
Yeah, I did. You want to see 14?
Let's see 14. Let me see all the effort you put in here.
Let me see. Booyah. Is there a certain age when you should stop trying to learn new things? This came to mind because the TikTok you sent me, Sandy.
Which one was
Wait,
this one?
was that the TikTok or no?
It was. I sent you. I think it was Facebook Messenger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You
this
got to share. What was it?
Yeah, so this gentleman is in the hospital with broken ribs and a separated lung,
Punctured lung,
and broken ribs because he is 47 and wanted to try skateboarding. He had never skateboarded before, and he was like, "Hey, I want to try this. I see other people do it, and it looks so easy." And now he's in the hospital.
Yes. And he's asking people to roast him.
Exactly. So I feel like you should always learn new things. Now, whether or not they should be dangerous things, that's totally on you. But he said that he had knee pads, helmet, and everything except for on his ribs.
Oh wow.
Oh
And
my
so
God.
he broke his ribs falling down. Skateboarding is tough. So that's what I call like a skill, like a physical skill type thing. You can learn new things, like you can learn how to play Sudoku or stuff like that. You know that type of stuff. But once you get to a certain age in physical level, maybe not age, I'd say physical level, you probably would want to not learn certain things or be very careful on how you do that. So like for me, I'd love surfing. I love seeing it, watching it on TV. Ain't no way in hell I'm getting out there on that surfboard.
What?
You should try it. If you skateboard, you should try it.
So I'm not the strongest swimmer. I know I'm Asian, and from an island nation, I should be able to swim. I can't.
Right.
I can swim enough to save my life, and that's it. So once we get like under a wave, and I'm like, yeah, no,
Doggy paddling getting you out.
He's not getting me out, no. But I think it's a cool thing. I would try surfing on one of those cruise ships where they have the surf things. Like I would.
Is
totally
that really
do that.
surfing, Joe? Is that really?
It's
surfing?
close enough for me.
Right.
If you take the pictures at the right angle,
Right. Hey, I can Photoshop a good
Throw
background.
in a shark. Throw in a shark.
Maybe that little shark.
That little shark.
the large shark head.
Yeah. Totally legit.
So what do you think, Sandy?
So I don't think that you should ever stop trying to learn new things. And I'm with you. Put yourself in bubble wrap if you're going to do something dangerous. I mean, from head to toe, maybe just poke a hole so you can breathe. But I mean, maybe work out a little bit, have some core muscles if you're going to be skateboarding. I mean, there's so many things. That's kind of like us at our age attempting to snowboard and to ski.
Yeah, that was terrible. Oh my goodness.
But we tried it and we had a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And we laughed a lot and we fell a lot. We took some people out. It was a great time.
Wow.
Great time.
Are you guys on a do not ski list now?
Well, do not snowboard.
Do not snowboard.
I can ski way better than I can snowboard. And so that's the weird thing. Skateboarding didn't fully translate to snowboarding, and it made me so angry that I could not get it. And
He
so
broke his board in half. He was so angry.
I was the mad Asian on the mountain.
Yeah. Kicked out and everything.
So, Jhmeid, what do you think?
Oh, you should never stop learning. But part of that learning, when we were young, we would try stuff, dangerous stuff all the time. But our brains knew that our body could withstand crazy falls and stuff like that at a different rate. So don't stop learning. Take more precautions because if this is going to be the story of his middle age, right? When he got, he'll be 60 saying, "You remember when I was 47 and I tried that?"
Yeah.
So yeah, do it. Keep learning, keep trying stuff, but use wisdom to make sure, as we get more experienced, we need to take more precautions. So if he had maybe you need a flat jacket or a full bubble wrap, but yeah, keep going.
Yes, I agree.
Or he should have stayed like on a flat surface. I don't know because you can ride on a flat surface that has no incline. That's cool. If you try to add a ramp in there, that's dumb.
I feel like he was probably like, hold my beer.
Right.
I feel like that's kind of how that started.
He probably went to a skate park, which is not the good way to learn.
Not for beginners.
No, you should not go to a skate park.
Practice in your driveway.
Right. Practice in your grass.
Yeah.
Practice in your grass where you're not moving.
On the carpet. Carpet.
Exactly. That's what I suggest. Is like if you're going to learn how to try to skateboard, you make sure that you have some type of balance. Because if you're like, I've never had good balance, that's a sign.
Right.
Not a good time to start.
Not a good time to start.
Okay, so we have a couple of comments. Joanne says, "Joe, listen, skateboard dude."
I'm going to start writing again this week, so we'll see.
CPJ says, maybe if it's an activity that might cause you to cash in your life insurance, call Sandy first, then do it. You say that, but I do have to ask you a few questions and it may disqualify you.
Right.
Chon is loving it and he says, not for Joe.
We had a number right there.
We have 11 and 7.
All right, let's go.
Which one?
Here we go. My daughter will graduate from college in December. Should we give her money or do a family trip? Sandy, you go first.
Okay. So I feel like an experience would probably be good because she's about to start working full time and probably won't have, a lot of time off. I mean, that's just my thoughts if, graduating from college, jumping into a job. But 2, she might be broke from college. So I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Personally, I would do the experience. I would love to do a family trip before she goes on to adulthood. But that's just my 2 cents.
So, Jhmeid, I know this is your question, so I'm going to
go
next.
It's not mine.
Oh, so I'm all for the family trip. I was like, once you graduate college, you're an adult. You get your own damn money.
Right.
You figure it out. I'm going to show you what you can do whenever you get to that point. That's like, I can take you guys on family trips. We can go have fun. Now it's your turn to make that happen. And I'm not going to give you money.
Right.
It's like, welcome to the adult world.
Right. It's your last mom and daddy
ride. Yeah, this is your final ride. Hey, we're going to do this. We're going to have some fun. We're going to make some memories and take some selfies together. Go be an adult.
And then go to work.
Go to work. Make it happen. Hopefully you chose a good degree.
Right. What do you think, Jhmeid?
I probably would do money because I don't want to assume that she wants to go on a trip with her born. It depends on like the ages of the siblings.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, hopefully we still would be going on family trips because I like to take adults on family trips if they want to go. But yeah, probably the money, would probably be more important to her because she might want to take the money and go on a trip with her girlfriends.
Then work for that money.
Then charge it.
Right. go into debt on your own.
I can see that. I can see that.
Okay, so we have,
But it was a hard
have,
choice.
Yeah.
yeah, it is. It really kind of really is. But we have some comments coming in from the previous question. And Anita says, at my age, I'm wise enough not to try something that will put me in the hospital. I will watch others on YouTube kill themselves. That's funny. And Sean says, give him the money. And Joanne says, learning is one thing, but hurting yourself is another thing. Yeah, totally true.
But so if you're learning, you don't go out to try to hurt yourself when you're learning something. You're like, oh, hey, you know what? I'm going to go hurt myself. That's not the intention.
Today I'm cracking a rib.
You don't ever say, hey, that's what I want to do. I'm going to go over there and crack a rib and end up in the hospital. That's not what you're thinking. You're like, hey, I'm going to learn something new. So you learn the hard way, but I don't think anyone goes out there to say, hey, I'm going to go hurt myself today.
Right.
I do
Except
think
for
they
Johnny
say,
Cash. That was a good song.
Right. I think they do say something like, I might hurt myself today. Maybe I shouldn't do that. But I don't think they purposely, I'm going to go hurt myself today. Like,
well, you do tell people break a leg.
Right, exactly. That's so crazy.
So CPJ says, experiences over money. Money magnifies. If she's bad with money, she'll be bad with it when you give it to her. If she's good with money, she'll be able to take care of her needs now or soon. Experiences all the way.
Very cool.
I like experiences.
Agree. Well, man, time flies when we're having fun, huh, y'all?
Yes,
it
does. Jhmeid, thank you so much for coming on and filling in some big shoes. And you did awesome. And we enjoyed listening to you.
Thank you for letting me break up your cool show.
Yeah.
I enjoyed myself.
Tell us about your show that when is it show? What's it called? All that fun stuff.
So our show is called We That Atlanta Sports. But don't worry if you're not an Atlanta sports fan, because we talk about all the teams in the whatever league. So we talk about the NBA, we talk about a little bit of soccer, we talk about NFL, we talk about tennis when it's appropriate, baseball. But it's really kind of talking about the culture of Atlanta and how we view sports. So it's a lot about sports, but we sneak a lot of other fun stuff in there. And we love to have great comments like this, because if you comment on our show, you're going to get on the show. So we're going to bring your comment on. And if you comment a lot, we're going to just go like, hey, you must want to come on a show. And we're going to put you in a, send you an invite in the messenger. So that would be cool. Some of your frequent commenters, if we had those, we would sneak them on in there. So we come on Fridays at, let me try to calculate this in Central Time. 7 Central. So early enough so you can watch it. But we have a YouTube channel, just like you guys do, so you can subscribe and watch it later. But it's all about fun and getting to know people and giving people a chance to talk about what they want to talk about. So just kind of like you guys did, we like to throw topics out there and hear what everybody has to say about it. So
right.
You know what we didn't talk about? We should have done a little nod to We Dat about the Mayweather fight. Are you guys going to talk about it, Jhmeid?
We talked about it a little bit, and we all came to the conclusion that we weren't going to talk
about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's an exhibition fight, and when the guy fighting is like, yeah, I'm just entertaining to get this money. It's like, why should we take it more serious than the guys in the ring? So.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. So we have a couple of comments coming in. Joanne says, I can't walk and chew gum at the same time because I fall. So not for me. Right. You would be our bubble wrap example, right. Joanne. And Joanne, Jamie is on vacation. So he'll be back with us, I think, next week. I'm pretty sure. And CPJ says, can y'all talk about tech baseball, Reckham, and how about that lifetime contract for our coach?
Nice.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. You know something about baseball.
Just a titch. Yeah. And then Anita says, Jhmeid, hashtag Julio Jones.
Too soon. Too soon. We're we're still in the acceptance phase.
It's still
We're
in the acceptance.
Yeah,
Well, whenever he said that I'm out of there, y'all should have been like, he's out of there.
well, we knew, but it's
like
just,
mentally, he's already checked out anyway. So.
Right, yeah, but it still hurts. It still takes a while. He was probably the best player in our franchise history, and just a great guy around the community. So it hurts, but we wish him success. So
right, exactly.
We have felt those goodbye pains.
Sandy, what do you have coming up?
I have a show, but I don't have a topic, so that's silly.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But tune in Thursday at 9.
Right, exactly.
Tune in Thursday at 9. See what sheet I'm talking.
So if you guys have a chance, I would go check out the Strange Connection show. They have a new host, and then Sandy was hosting last night, and they had a guest hosting, and they had an awesome guest on there. So Jill Payne is a hairdresser, and she is an educator, and it was just a great show.
She put a new perspective out for me. So y'all go watch it. And I want y'all to think about your hairstylist. I mean, I don't want to put a wedge in between your crappy hairstylist, but I'm just saying, like, look at your hairstylist and see if she does these things for y'all. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Right. So it's really good. I love Jill. She's one of my favorite hairstylists, and I try to use her as much as I can, but she owns her own business. It's super busy. So I get to use her every now and then, but yeah. Cool. Awesome. I think we plugged all the shows. Oh, wait.
What?
Tomorrow.
Unopened files tomorrow at 9 Central, 8:30.
Okay.
Why aren't y'all even on their Facebook? Y'all should be
Yeah, I don't know what they're talking about, but if you like weird stuff, that's the show to watch.
They do murder, they do paranormal, they do everything. Yeah. They're pretty good.
Everything Sandy likes.
Yes.
Right, exactly. Well, awesome. I think we had a great show, y'all. So
I think so too. Thanks again, Jhmeid.
Jhmeid, do you know Jamie's part? Jaime's part?
I think so.
All right.
I don't even know my part.
Remember to rewind.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right, Jhmeid, go ahead.
Look for and meet new friends.
And be kind.
You filthy animals.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Oh, wait. I got to find it. Dang it.
I know. I was like, did you already have it ready? Because I couldn't even find it.
I got to find the outro. I can find an outro.
I couldn't find the intro. Go. Good night, everybody. Thanks.
It's the social distancing show. How did you not know? How did you not know? It's the social distancing show. How did you not know? How did you not know? It's the social distancing show. How did you not know? How did you not know? It's the social distancing show. How did you not know? How did you not know?